all you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Britik coming to fast with another Paragon video. And oh man, I just love making YouTube videos, dude. There's just something about it that I just fucking love. Not as much as I love this alpha legacy gameplay with Kalari. Oh my goodness, if you guys have never seen like legacy Kalari gameplay, you are in for a treat because she was even sexier back then. Oh my goodness gracious. But anyway, today we are going to be talking about a fun little topic. We're going to have a nice little discussion here, okay? So, of course, I make a lot of Paragon videos. By the way, thank you so much for the support on them, okay? We're still getting lots of views. Like, it's been 3 days since my last video, and we've already broke 10,000 views, which is pretty good for me, honestly. I can't even flaunt, like, after everything that happened, after being gone for 2 weeks, I come back, make a video, and gets over 10,000 views in the first 3 days. That's pretty awesome. So thank you guys so much. Love you so much. Thank you for the support. And also, I've been getting a lot of comments in these videos ever since the shutdown of Paragon and all my coverage of Visionary Games, Project Phoenix Rising, and all that kind of stuff. And I've been seeing a lot of comments that go some sort of way like this. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it's like, Britik, you fucking gay. Oh, no, wait, hold on. The other ones. Britik, I don't think Paragon 2.0 is going to work. I mean, how can Paragon 2.0, whatever it might end up being, okay, whatever the next Paragon might end up being, wouldn't it just flop like Paragon did? Like, Paragon messed up, Paragon failed, so anything that resembles it is going to fail as well. Wrong. I don't believe that, obviously. But in order to just try and play devil's advocate, I will kind of try to argue for that point in my next video. But in this video, I'm going to talk about how much bullshit that point is. So, without further ado, let's get into it. 2-minute intros are per usual as BritikHD. So, here's reason number one why a Paragon successor won't flop, or hopefully, this is what they should do if they don't want to flop, basically. And that is not change the entire map halfway through the development cycle. I mean, honestly, like, obviously, you cannot be pulling crazy ass switcheroos like that, especially so often. If you think about the track record here, right? We went from legacy to then not having travel mode to turning that into an auto travel mode, which was just a little bit of a difference. It wasn't that big of a deal. But then you have the big one, which is legacy to monolith, which was okay, what the fuck. And then you had the entire item system rework, which put the game into the ground. So, you know, being consistent and not being so goddamn drastic with it is a good place to start. And I'm pretty sure, at least the way Visionary Games is going, they have a really solid idea of what they want to do and how they're going to continue with doing it. Because the thing about Paragon was, it was very ambitious, okay? It was really ambitious at the time, at its first release, okay? I mean, to have a MOBA that looks like this, I mean, this was closed beta gameplay, like basically alpha gameplay. It says alpha content everywhere in this gameplay right now, okay? And the game still looked incredible. It still played pretty well. I mean, there were some glitches, some bugs, but there were honestly less glitches at this time that I can remember than there were later on in the monolith days, especially like with the theater mode and all that kind of stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. So that's the first reason why I think so. Second reason why is because the people that will eventually come to make the next quote-unquote Paragon, whether it's Project Phoenix Rising, whether it's Rocket Mania and his company or whatever, or if anybody else, anybody at all, right, is that they already know where to start. Whereas Epic Games, they kind of had this idea in mind and they tried their best at making a MOBA from scratch, but they didn't really have a predecessor to stem off from. Now, of course, they had Smite, they had League of Legends, they had other MOBAs, but these MOBAs were not trying to also be action MOBAs, right? The whole point about Paragon is that it did not feel like a MOBA. It felt like a third-person action game. It felt like Gears of War, at least to me, okay? That's exactly the reason why I got so into it, and that's why I can't really get into Smite or League of Legends or any other MOBAs, is because I didn't like Paragon because it was a MOBA. I liked Paragon because it was Paragon, and somebody can fucking quote me on that, okay? I'll probably make an entire video explaining that point because some people might not even understand that. Oh, I think I actually, do I use Kalari's? Oh no, I don't have Kalari's Ultimate unlocked here yet. I use Kalari's Ultimate later on. If you guys never seen her old, oh my god, it's so good. Old is so fucking good. But anyway, I played Paragon because it felt like an action MOBA, and Epic was doing this the first time, pretty much. Like, they were the first people to try and do something as ambitious as this. So everybody else who's coming afterwards, they already have a really good example of what not to do, in my opinion, right? And they have a good example of what to do. So, you know, you have the second time around, you usually have an easier time doing it right? Now, another thing is that, okay, here's a really big thing why Paragon failed. Okay, it wasn't just because of the map switching and the item system changing, but it was also because there was no ranked mode. Like, there was no ranked mode. There was no ranked mode. They kept promising that there was going to be an official ranked mode, but it never happened. In competitive games such as MOBAs, ranked modes are literally what keep the game afloat, alright? That's the whole point. The whole point you play MOBAs is to have a higher rating than someone else. That's why Agora.gg was so popular, okay? That's why everybody looked at everybody else's elos, okay? Because everybody wanted to be better than everyone else. That was the whole point, okay? It's a competitive game. You want to be better than somebody else. It's just like a sport. And when you don't have a mode like that that actually rewards you, that shows you what actually is giving you for being good, then it's really easy to just fall off and find the game boring and stale and just, you know, start just getting bored of it, pretty much, and just straying away from it. I know a lot of people left by the time Monolith came out because they were so used to Legacy, they really liked Legacy, and they didn't like Monolith. That was one reason. But another reason is because, I don't know how many of you actually remember this, but Epic said that they wanted to come out with a ranked mode shortly after open beta launched, which was around July, August 2016, and then Monolith launched just shortly after, right? Very soon in video game time, and ranked mode never came out. So really, there's the old, oh, so cool. Really, Epic kind of fucked up in that regard as well. But one more thing is that, way more importantly, is that you had the casuals and you had the sweaty tryhards all together in one place, and that created a very toxic environment because the casuals just wanted to play around. Okay, they're probably parents, they have kids, they don't have time to play this game 24/7 and become super sweaty tryhards. Okay, they just wanted to play around, they wanted to play the game, they wanted to have fun. And bots was a little bit too boring for that because, let's be honest, it's freaking bots. And back then, especially when the game was still really big, quote unquote really big, you know, in comparison, bots were really stupid and they were not fun to play against. And so you had these casuals that just wanted to play against other people, kind of like them. And then you had these super sweaty tryhards that wanted to be the best of the best of the best. And when you don't have a separate mode to take the sweaty tryhards away from the casuals that just want to play for fun, you get a really big issue. You get a really big issue. A very toxic environment is created, and that is another reason why Paragon ended up failing, especially near the end. Oh, look at that dodge. Oh, especially near the end, where everybody was just looking for scraps. The community was tired of Epic's bullshit, right? The false promises and the roadmaps that never got fulfilled and all that. So there was a lot of fatigue and anger towards Epic, and that was also being taken out amongst each other because everybody was just trying to play their favorite game, but of course you also want to be competitive, you also want to win, and that didn't help the situation whatsoever. So all those things combined is what led to Paragon's downfall, and I feel like all the successors can clearly see that. Like, it doesn't take much. You don't have to be super smart and super knowledgeable of MOBAs and how MOBAs work in order to figure out what the hell Epic did wrong in this entire situation. So that's just my spiel right there. I think that's just about it, really, what why I don't think a successor, a Paragon 2.0, quote-unquote, would fail necessarily. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Those are just my thoughts. I mean, again, I just really stated everything of all the reasons why Paragon failed, and those are literally the things that, at least talking to Visionary Games, talking to everybody from there, they've all noticed those errors on Epic's side, and they've all taken steps already to ensure that they don't make the same mistakes, which is very, very promising. Really promising. Really good news to hear. So far, so good. I can't really be critical, like I said earlier, because there's nothing for me to be critical about. They haven't really done much yet. But so far, everything's looking pretty good. Some of the animations, the map, everything and all that. from what we've seen so far in all these projects. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. In the next video, I do have some talking points. I do have some arguments as to why a Paragon 2.0, how it can fail, if that, you know, that sounds interesting to you guys. But anyway, hit the bell if you haven't already. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day as I 1v1 this fucking rampage. This is how amazing Kalari was back in the day. 1v1ing a goddamn rampage as much as I want because I have damage and health. And oh boy, Mr. Rampaggio over here, he's trying to run away. He can't run away. You can't get away from Kalari. What are you thinking? I'll go invisible. You nervous. Oh, he nervous. He's swiping. He's praying. He's hoping he dies. He's dead.